Okay, I'm back. Now we'll do a t-test. Okay, a t-test, what it's going to do is a t-test looks at differences between two groups. Okay, since we have two groups of sex, males and females, I want to compare them. Okay, I'm going to compare the differences between them and their social media use and how competitive they are. All right, so let's go to our SPSS data. And again, you want to be looking at our variable view again. Okay, and go to Analyze. This time you want to go to Compare Means. All right, as your book says, this is an independent samples t-test because we're comparing two different groups. All right, so hit that independent samples t-test. And I'm going to redo all that. I'm going to reset everything. Okay, so our test variable in our first one is competitiveness. Males are more competitive than females. So let's scroll down and just find that competitiveness right there and bring that over. That's going to be our test variable. That's our dependent variable. All right. Now let's go up to sex. Where is it? What is your sex? Pop that into grouping variable. Now what SPSS is asking you to do is sex is going to be categorized as numbers, and you just have to say, okay, which numbers are you talking about? So just pop in group 1 is listed as 1, is categorized as 1, and group 2 is categorized as 2. I can explain that a little bit more in a second, but just bear with me for a second. So hit continue. Okay, so that what that's doing is comparing males and females along the competitiveness dependent variable. Okay. Now hit OK. All right, now let's look at this. This gives you your mean. This is obviously what we had before. We know how many males and females. Now you want to look at this right here, your significance. This is your significance. Don't pay attention to here. This is actually should be not significant, but don't worry about equal variances right now. Once you take another statistics class, you actually have to take this, but don't worry about that for now. We'll just pretend that this is non-significant. Okay, so the numbers you need to be concerned about are these three numbers. All right, right now, what this means, P is less than 0.05, so it is significant. All right, so then you look up here. Males are more competitive. They scored higher than females on this competitiveness index. Okay? So what you need to write is this hypothesis is supported. So then you write your T. This is your T. This is your degrees of freedom. So your degrees of freedom goes into 67. That goes in parentheses. Equals, you round off to 2 digits, 4.80, because it's rounded up. 0.80. P is less than 0.05. See how we got that? P is less than 0.05. You never write P equals, you just write P is less than 0.05. Okay? Exercise comparison. Social media. Oh, so that one's SM analysis. Yep. Hang on for a second. All right, so the next one is females are more addicted to social media than males. Go to Analyze. compare means, independent samples t-test. I'm going to reset. So our dependent variable is social media addiction. So find that down at the bottom. That's going to be our dependent variable. And sex is our grouping variable. So I'm going to define my groups. 1, 2, continue, and hit OK. Okay, so let's look at this. This is interesting. Social media addiction, you can see that males on average scored 2.24 or 2.25. Females scored 2.56. It doesn't seem to be that much of a difference, but your significance, your statistics tell you that it is significant. Okay? So don't worry about negative numbers, because in t-test you take the absolute value. All right? So this hypothesis is supported. T, your degrees of freedom 267 equals, where was it? 3.02. No, sorry. Yeah, 3.03, because you round off. All right? P is less than 0.05. And typically in results sections of research, they're actually going to put the means in there. But I don't want you to do that for your homework. Don't worry about that. Okay? Typically during the semester, I have students do that. Okay, so then for your homework, you're going to continue on. Okay? Just note that social media for comparison, these numbers are actually going to be reversed. So when you look at these means for this hypothesis, note, okay, that a lower number means a higher degree of that variable. So if you find that females have a lower number, I'm saying more than males. So if females have a lower number, that means that they actually are higher in this social media for comparison. Okay, because remember I showed you that, like I said, I did a bit of an idiot thing. This almost always true, that pertains to that response set. I had 7 response sets and 1 indicates a higher degree of that variable. Okay? So I'm going to end this one here and upload. I'll be back.